Bitcoin is in the middle of a potentially fatal crash, and I want to break down exactly what I'm seeing for you all in this video right now. Take a look at this. Bitcoin now trading below $58,000, and we weren't down here since the wick on the 29th of October, or since real trading since about the middle of October. So we are now at lows that we haven't seen since about 1 month ago. So realistically, when we zoom out and we consider exactly what's going on, we're not in a bad place, right? If we take a look at where the fear and greed index in this market is at as well, this market is resetting really nicely. We're sitting at neutral territory right now. We're kind of stabilizing around here. People are definitely a lot more bearish here than they were at the same price levels before historically, which is a good sign that this market is resetting. People are essentially taking this movement for granted now and becoming a little bit more bearish, and more importantly, a little bit less bullish. And what we need, and what I've been covering with you all for a very long time, is for these markets to rise up nicely, we need the majority of people to not be bullish. Remember what happened previously? Take a look at this chart right here when Bitcoin managed to come off this low at 29,000, 28,000 and then rally all the way up to a brand new set of all-time highs. People were not very bullish at this point, right? Equally, when we had that big coronavirus market crash down here in March 2020, people were not bullish at the bottom. So this is what we need. We need people to be losing those bullish biases. And this is happening as we continue to penetrate this area of support. So here's the deal, right? Is that this drop is not good. And I'm going to break down for you the reasons that I'm not super optimistic about this. But when we zoom in, and this is the same picture I've been outlining for you in every single video. Shout out to those of you who are smashing up those likes and subscribed to this YouTube channel, because you're not missing a single bit of this content, which is extremely important, extremely time critical. What we're seeing right here, ladies and gents, is that Bitcoin is making good use of this previous area, which was resistance, this previous area of resistance, flipping into support, bam, support, bam. And this is all on the longer term time frames. Now, the issue is that if we zoom in, we are forming some very significantly bearish market structures right here. And what I'm seeing is essentially, take a look at this. There is this concept of prior swing lows, which is basically the most recent low that the trend established within its recent history, right? And so a few of those lows might be, say, this one right here, this one right here, and probably the most important ones being just around the bottom right here, right? So this is around the $40,000 range. This one's about 47. This one is around 55. And this one, the most important one in my opinion, just for this video, is at $58,000. And the key thing that we've done right now with this Bitcoin price action is we have managed to sweep this area, and it's coming off exactly what I warned you guys could potentially be problematic for Bitcoin, which is if Bitcoin drops down to this level and then stabilizes down here, right? I was saying that if Bitcoin kind of stabilizes down at this level, we're probably going to end up penetrating the support box, which is exactly what happened. The other thing that I outlined for you all in yesterday's video is that Bitcoin does actually potentially have a little bit of resistance just up ahead in terms of these 1 hour Ichimoku clouds providing some resistance for the market. We didn't even manage to bounce up that high, and we ended up falling back down. If we take a look at where momentum was for this market, it was not bullish. It was applying quite a lot of pressure to Bitcoin basically only trading in or close to this EMA ribbon and then getting smacked right back down. And that is definitely, I think, something that's applying some pressure on the market. You can see this consistently with all of these time frames right now. We're also seeing some of the volume on the dump intensifying. So look, from this short-term perspective, it's not good. And the main thing that I don't like about this short-term perspective right now is if we switch this back over to the 1 hour and take a look at where this most recent candle closed. If I just draw a line right there showing you where that candle closed, it is officially lower than the prior swing low, which is basically telling us that we're now no longer, this is the key thing, is we are now no longer setting higher lows, right? Whereas previously each low that we set in this rally was getting progressively higher, and each high that we set in this rally was getting progressively higher. We are now no longer doing that. Look at this. It was a beautiful trend, and now we're starting to see these highs getting lower. Look at this. Bam, right there. Bam, right there. The lows starting to get lower. Bam, right there. Bam, right there. So we're starting to get these early warning signs that the trend might be getting ready to reverse a little bit, and this is as we're penetrating probably the strongest area of support that Bitcoin has on its entire chart right now, or one of the strongest areas, right? So this is the thing, is that look, broadly speaking, this dump is not actually super strong in my opinion, right? If we measure it from the top down to where we are, down to the low that we set just today, it's taken over a week to drop by 17%, right? This is not the biggest dump ever. Let's measure this one right here. This one also took about 2 weeks to drop by 24%. So we're roughly on that kind of track right now. But we've gotten much bigger dumps much faster before, right? I want to take you over to what happened pretty much when the bull market really stopped being very fun around over here. When Bitcoin was trading for 9 days, it had already dropped by 26% previously, right? So Bitcoin can do much more savage things in these spaces of time, right? 12 days and it's down by 18%. This one was a big one right here. 6 days and it's down by 26%. So we're not in such an aggressive sell-off right now if we compare it to some of the little crashes that we've seen before. And what I really want to start seeing right now is, even though I don't think Bitcoin is going to recover up right now, I want to see some signs that this dump stops intensifying. I want to see some signs that this dump is kind of getting a little bit weaker. I want to see some signs that the bears are applying a little bit less selling pressure, and more importantly, that the bulls are applying a little bit more buying pressure now that we're in this range. And we should start to see that, right? If we take a look at the daily EMA ribbon, we've unfortunately lost that support. But if we look at some of the other indicators like the daily Ichimoku cloud, we are going to start finding support in this range right now, literally just within the next couple of days, right? Moving into just about 1 week from now, there's going to be some really good support in this range, and I think it makes complete sense that Bitcoin comes back down to test this area and find a little bit of support. I mean, at least one hit. We had a beautiful hit right here. The issue is obviously now each of these areas above are turning into resistance, and this is again something I've been warning you about in this YouTube channel. If you've been subscribed to this channel, again, you're gonna know all about this. Shout out to those of you who appreciate this realistic analysis where I'm telling you exactly what's going on. I'm not scared of speaking my mind. I am not censoring this YouTube channel so that you guys get the God's honest truth and nothing less, nothing more. That's exactly what this YouTube channel is about. And with the Ichimoku cloud, I mean, look, here's the deal, is I think that there could be some support for Bitcoin to find here. The last time Bitcoin went into this cloud, from the top of the cloud all the way to the top of the rally, Bitcoin formed, it managed to rise up by about 18%, and from the low to the high managed to go up by about 25%, which was absolutely phenomenal. And if Bitcoin forms a move a little bit like that right here, rising up by 17%, puts us at about $65,000, and by about 25% would actually allow us to set a brand new all-time high. So that is definitely very cool. But the key issue that I've been outlining for you on these recent videos is something that I told you. Look, we might not be doing it yet, but the warning signs are there and these pictures develop. So those of you who remember me saying that in the previous video, do me a favor, drop me a comment down below telling me just the 2 words, I remember. Just say I remember. I want to see how many of you guys were paying attention when I was warning you guys about this happening, but I was also dropping all those nuanced points about how, look, these are the reasons that we don't just jump to conclusions and form big opinions based off nothing. But of course, we're keeping an eye on these early developments. The reason we're able to see this stuff with myself, with the Fourth Slice team, is that it's not just me doing analysis on these markets, right? I've got a team behind me, and that allows us to make sure that we don't miss this stuff. But here's the deal, ladies and gents. Bitcoin had some pretty good support that it was able to enjoy in this range right here, and the key thing that I was warning you about is that if we manage to drop below this level, it's going to potentially turn into resistance, and it has already done that. If we look at this on the 1 hour time frame, we actually dipped a little bit below this range and then pumped up to find a little bit of resistance, and then bam, sent right back down. Same thing with this red line right here. This can also turn into resistance, and same thing with actually the very top of this range as well. And the top of this range, I'm just going to draw with a different box, was also acting as support for Bitcoin. Take a look at this right here. Very clear. This is the same level I was outlining for you all on Coinbase, between $62,000 and $64,000. I was basically telling you guys that if Bitcoin starts kind of dropping below these levels, we can potentially start to expect a little bit of resistance here, and that's going to be the key problem that Bitcoin is going to face, right? So even though Bitcoin has some really good support on the 1 day time frame, it's now not such a clear picture on how much Bitcoin can rise because it's already dropped down so much. Again, realistically, I think we're still fine. We're in a really big area of support, and we are just about to hit a key support indicator on a key time frame, on the daily time frame, right? And the other thing I got to keep in mind for you guys that I got to, you know, really remind you about is that this one day Ichimoku cloud is no joke, right? This is one of the most reliable indicators I've ever come across in my trading career, and I'm not saying that lightly. I want you to take a look at what happened back in 2017, but of course you're already going to know all about this if you've already watched my tutorial on it. So now's your time to check out this free content, guys. This whole YouTube channel is free. I know it is amazing, right? How cool. But this video is also free, and it is my tutorial showing you how to get and use this amazing indicator. And take a look at this. In 2017, Bitcoin just relentlessly falling into or near this cloud and getting beautiful bounces up, which triggered really big moves, right? I want to put this into perspective for you. Bitcoin dropped into this Ichimoku cloud right here and managed to rally up by 50%. If we rise up by 50% from where we are right now, that puts us at $90,000. That is no joke. The next time Bitcoin hit this level and managed to get a pump up, it went up by 200%. So if Bitcoin did that right now, it would put us at $180,000. And right here, it managed to rally up by 160%. And of course, eventually up to a high of 500%, which would put us at about $240,000. So this cloud is no joke when we're in a bull market, and we've already seen that we'll at least get one bounce out of these clouds usually on these one-day time frames, right? This rally dropping us down, look at this, up by 35% right here. This little move here dropping us down has been fairly, I mean, you know, it's been pretty aggressive. I can't lie. I mean, it's not been super bad when we compare it to some of the other dips we've seen, but you know, each of these things need to come to an end. It doesn't matter what's happening, they do end up bottoming out and they do end up rallying back up, and that's exactly what I think we're going to see here. And we haven't even hit the support yet, so I think this is the perfect opportunity for Bitcoin to do something like that. And you know, I wouldn't be surprised if this turned out to be a reaction rally where we kind of start moving back up, and that's where I'll start drawing my conclusions on, is this market dead, or are we gonna, you know, keep setting brand new all-time highs? And realistically, I think we're gonna keep setting brand new all-time highs. I'm starting to see a much more bullish picture developing in this market, which actually looks a little bit like this, where Bitcoin is essentially having space to rise up, form very nice corrections, and rise up and form very nice corrections, and then continue rising up. And of course, if we're following this kind of pattern, that next leg up can easily put us up in the mid $80,000 range. And what healthy price action it would be if we manage to get there. So I'm staying very optimistic here. You know, one thing I want you guys to keep in mind is, you know, you start looking around at the YouTube comment sections, the sentiment on Twitter, just checking into how you feel and looking at things like the fear and greed index, and question yourself, are we approaching support levels? Yes. Are we approaching reliable, strong support levels? Yes. Are people getting scared? Yes. Is this the winning formula for absolutely fucking slaying the markets and making profits when everyone else is asleep and getting worried? Yeah, it is. And that's how these games work. So that's what I'm reminding you all about in this YouTube video, keeping you guys savages in this market so we can keep on playing this and profiting from it beautifully. You guys already know the deal. I'm only using Bybit when I make all of these trades. This is a company that I've been working with for years, and I absolutely love them. So definitely check them out with the link in the description down below, because when you sign up to Bybit using my link in the description and then make your first Bitcoin deposit, you're also going to be getting up to $3,500 completely free of charge as a thank you for using my sign up link. So definitely check that out. It is free money. The only way to get it is using my link and then making a Bitcoin deposit of any amount, and you're going to get up to $3,500 free. So the more you deposit, the more you get completely free of charge. You can trade with it. And if you want to join Forflies VIP and watch me trading in real time, watch me navigating this market with all the highs and the lows, then follow these steps on screen as well. There you go, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this another great, thorough, grounded video giving you guys some analysis. I would love to see that kiss of death right there and then dropping that back down, only because I'm a trader. I couldn't care less where Bitcoin goes. Of course, I hold a lot of Bitcoin, so I would like it to go up, you know, in the long run. But as a trader, this would be a beautiful, beautiful move to be playing on Bitcoin. This is definitely something I'm looking out for. Bitcoin has already done it before. Don't ignore these signs. It doesn't matter what your feelings say. Markets will do what the markets will do. And if you let your feelings get involved, then you're not going to be on the side making profits. So please keep that in mind. Anyway, hope you have all enjoyed this video. Again, likes, subscribe, tick the bell, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.